Boruto Tubular Vortex Chapter 20 starts with Matsuri and Konohamaru fighting, or rather, Matsuri crushing Konohamaru, and Konohamaru remembers what Shikamaru was talking about when taming them, and so he says, "Hey, didn't you say this was the best day of your life? Stop trying to kill me, you don't want to devour me, let's keep on talking, let's keep giving you joy." And she was like, "No, I still have to devour you, even though it was a good feeling. I feel like the bad feelings are more greater than the good feelings you were giving me, so you still need to be devoured." And so she keeps on crushing him, and then we cut over to Ryu versus the others, and we see that Arya's wind style isn't enough to push back his iron sand, and then Mitsuki attacks, and he does push Ryu back, but then Ryu grabs Arya and puts him in front of Mitsuki's attack, and Mitsuki stops his attack, and then Ryu hits Mitsuki with the iron sand, and then he takes Arya and Mitsuki hostage using his iron sand, so he's able to manipulate them. And he tells Sarada and Yodo, "Alright, this is what I want. I just want information on Boruto, his accomplice, his weaknesses, anything you know about them really. And if you do that, I'll let them go." And Yodo tells Sarada, "Alright, Sarada, tell him what you know." And Sarada's like, "I'm not doing that. I'm not telling him anything. I don't know anything either. So even if I did know anything, I still wouldn't tell him. So no, I'm not doing that." And then Sarada remembers what Sumire was talking about how because they don't know anything, they're able to live peacefully or live freely, or they're safe from any kind of harm. So if Sarada did know something, she would be taken hostage instead, or she would probably be in more danger if she did. So the fact that she doesn't know anything is a good thing, and it's something that she's thinking about right now. And so Yoda talks to Sarada, is like, "I always wondered why you care about a traitor like Boruto, a rogue ninja, but I can see it on your face. He's the kind of person that you want to help out. He's the kind of person that you want to be there and have his back. And I feel the same way about Shinki, and it's why I have to save him now." And so Yodo says, "Alright, we don't know anything about them, but I will offer myself up instead. I'm a sensory ninja, and I can help you guys out, and I'll sense for him, I'll help you guys look for him, all of that stuff. Just let everybody else go." And so she's basically offering herself in their place. We cut back over to Konohamaru and Matsuri's still crushing Konohamaru, but then a tear sheds. She starts crying, and then Konohamaru says, "Matsuri, you don't want to kill me, you're sad, you're crying, look at you. You don't want to do this, you don't want to devour me, you care about me." And then we see Jura also crying. So we look over at Jura, and he also has tears in his eyes. And it could be that the Shinju are emotionally linked, or maybe he's just seeing them through the Rinnegan, but he's sad too. So then Konohamaru's like, "Alright, hey, grab my hands, and we can start a really special relationship. This is what people do." And she's like, "Really?" So she grabs his hands, and then he starts remembering what Shikamaru was talking about be their friends, Konohamaru, and then betray them. And so Konohamaru grabs her hands, and then he uses 2 Rasengan to destroy them. And then he uses 2 giant Rasengans to attack her. And he blows off her arms, her legs, everything. And he's basically destroying her. And as he is, she lets out one final Konohamaru-chan. And Konohamaru kind of is like, he's shocked. He thinks about Moegi or his friendship or whatnot. He's like, "Oh my gosh, what am I doing?" And Jura says, because of love, Matsuri didn't devour Konohamaru. She didn't follow her instincts. But also because of love, Konohamaru didn't have it in him to finish off Matsuri. So now Matsuri's half defeated, and she's attacking Konohamaru with the tendrils. And then we cut back to Ryu and the others, and we see Ryu stabs Yodo through the stomach. And he says, "Nah, I don't need your help. Move on." And Yodo starts dying, and she's looking at Sarada, and she's like, Why are you holding back? You're holding back that power. You're letting it go to waste." And she says, "You can use it for something other than the greater good. You can use it to help that special someone that you care about. Anyone. Protect us all." And Sarada is being controlled by Ryu's iron sand, and he's trying to use her to stab Yodo and finish her off with a kunai. And then Sarada activates her Sharingan, and we see that Ryu's iron sand starts to go away, or starts being pulled somewhere else, and he can't control it. And then we see it getting sucked up into this portal or black hole kind of a thing. And then we finally see that Sarada turns around and we notice that she's activated her Mangekyo Sharingan. And that's where the chapter ends. And this was a wild chapter. Everything about it. It starts off with them. It starts with Konohamaru kind of like trying to figure a way out of his situation. And then Ryu versus everybody else. And then Konohamaru appealing to her senses, to her emotions and her feelings for him. And then he destroys her. They start fighting back against Ryu. They get hostages. It's a crazy chapter. And I honestly think that we're really getting the ball rolling. We're really going at a good speed here. We're learning ever so little information here and there, but I feel like it was a great way to end the chapter showing her Mangekyo Sharingan. We're definitely going to see that be a huge deal moving forward. It was nice to see a little bit of more characterization for Sarada learning or from Yodo. And it is sad about Yodo. I'm not going to sit here and be like, Yodo was a great character. We just met her, but like, she didn't deserve to go out. You know what I mean? She didn't deserve to go out like that, you know? So I think that it's sad, but I'll learn to live with it, maybe. I also think that the Shinju being emotionally linked to each other, or maybe just Jura. I think Jura is emotionally linked to all of them because he's like the leader, the boss. He's like the primary Ten-Tails, so he's able to feel all of their emotions, and that's valuable to him. So I think that's really cool. We'll see how that plays out moving forward. And yeah, Sarada is using her Mangekyo Sharingan ability. It's like a portal or a black hole. It might be space-time ninjutsu related, you know, who knows, but it's a really cool thing that they have there. And I feel like they're giving us piece by piece by piece, you know, and introducing us to more interesting and exciting stuff. And we're going to start really picking up time and time again. So next chapter, we get to see what Sarada is able to do with her Mangekyo Sharingan. We get to maybe learn a little bit more about it. We'll see. But overall, I give this chapter an 8.6. I think that it had good action. It was cool to see them like bargain or talk to each other, especially Ryu and Konohamaru and Matsuri. All of them were like, Ryu wanted information on Boruto, and Konohamaru wanted to like stop Matsuri from devouring him, you know. So it's kind of cool to see the different situations and how everybody's moving. And we see that because of love, Matsuri held back. She didn't devour. She didn't follow her instincts, and that's valuable information for Jura and the Shinju. So moving forward, we'll see how that works. And obviously, Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan is a huge bonus for the world of Boruto for everybody involved. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that moves forward. But until then, 8.6. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah.